Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Friday, February 21st, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5-card spread? Interesting. Oh, my goodness. All right, so what do we have here? We are This is important. This is really important because I want to stress yesterday we had the Hangman in its reversal with the Queen of Wands in its reversal yesterday. Now, if you missed yesterday's spread, you can head over to the Substack and you will see it there. But there was something really important about the valuation point of those two cards, which is they're basically the same card. Extremely similar. And this is indicated to me that masculine and feminine are very much in alignment right now, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a lot of engagement or activation that's happening across masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to, because these energies are in some kind of repose. Now, the thing I like about this is with the King of Swords and the Justice card here, it feels like this is energy that is not stagnating. It feels like energy that is thinking. It feels like energy that is planning. It feels like energy that is, it's like winding up for the pitch to a certain extent. Because here again, much like the similarity between the Hangman in its reverse, like in its upright yesterday, and the Queen of Wands in its reversal, these two cards are mirroring one another. Heavy Libra energy here. And a lot of that mirroring is, it's positive. It's a positive. They're saying like it's work on positive mirroring. And what does positive mirroring mean? Positive mirroring speaks a lot towards the idea that what we embody, we find around us, right? This is why we say it's not healthy or productive to match energy. Because if you're trying to match energy, and like it kind of makes you like easily manipulated, right? Because if someone knows that you match energy and someone comes towards you being a jerk, right? You don't really stand on anything. You're just giving back what you see around you. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of work that's occurring right now in the space of recognizing and identifying like what one stands for. What that means, working through the space of an idea, right? There's productivity here. It feels like breakthrough energy. And I'm not surprised to see this type of breakthrough energy on the cusp of Aries stationing direct, right? A lot of this, one of the things I'm getting is like, the energy we're about to move into, if you feel like this January did not feel like January, this is going to feel like January now. This is going to feel like a lot of that activation and that kickstart. And a lot of it, I want to say, there's something really important to be said about navigating static. And we talked a lot about this with the Mars retrograde cycle, because the thing with the Mars retrograde cycle is it's been a lot of path work and building strength as it relates to courage. Because when we're going through a Mars retrograde cycle, there's no confidence to be found. It's not the fact that the confidence is high. It's not the fact that the confidence is low. It's that it vacillates wildly, right? And so that ability of recognizing and identifying that vacillation and being able to move forward regardless, being able to set one's intention, working in that context of recognizing, that's what courage is, right? Courage is what we do despite inconvenience. Courage is what we do despite energetic frustration. Courage is what we do despite the energy around us being the way that it is, right? There's a little bit of that energy that says my courage moves forward regardless. That's why it's courage. It's not independent. It's not independent on circumstances. It exists within itself. It exists on its own. And so I just keep on seeing that this is a lot of the energy finding the courage to move forward right now. A lot of that breakthrough energy. And that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy in separation right now. This is energy in separation. There's energy in separation right now that is in their manifestation. They haven't come into connection with the partner yet. but they're embodying the qualities and characteristics that they hope to find in the counterpart. A healthy manifestation changes us as we move towards it, right? We had this message coming through during that last alignment. And I feel like this next alignment is all going to be about balance to a certain extent, because if these are energies that are healing from situations or circumstances in the past where it felt like they were moving towards their dream, but they had to disassociate in the process of it. This is how Scorpio is helping the energy and separation, going, if you had to disassociate and moving towards something that was for you, why was it for you? Are you sure that that was the thing that was for you? Because it sounds to me a lot like it wasn't. If it was requiring you to lose yourself to move towards it, that doesn't sound like it's for you. It feels like it's for someone else, right? And so a lot of this, I just keep on seeing, for a lot of this energy and separation, I keep on hearing the energy say, I know who I am. I know who I am. And in the moment of saying, I know who I am, they're not moving towards partnership saying, who am I? They're looking for the counterpart that simultaneously is able to stand on the sense of self, right? Because this is the energy that says, I know who I am. I'm looking for someone that also knows who they are, right? A lot of this exactitude, none of this, I'm going to say right now, this is how a lot of the energy in separation is cutting through the noise and cutting through the static, because I keep on seeing that some of this energy was hurt in situations or circumstances where something was energetically fuzzy, right? I keep on hearing this energy like having some kind of haunting echo of saying, I never said that. You assumed that. I never directly spoke about that, right? And so this is the energy that says my exactness, like when we are able to articulate what it is that we're seeking, and we understand that there's no such thing as rejection, then this is the energy that's finding the courage, because they're recognizing that the things they want and being able to articulate upon them, clearing the throat chakra, is going to help them identify what is and is not in alignment to them. And so I just keep on seeing that this feels like a lot of courage, and it feels like I told you, it feels like some of that energy that was in Virgo in separation is moving into Libra, because this is the energy that says that sense of caution and fear is not caution. It's pickiness, right? It's fine tuning. And when we become fine tuned, we start to get the ick on anything that's not for us, because this is the energy that says that ickiness that I feel is my picker that's working. Right? This is the energy that says, bless my feeling of energetic. I see some energy right now in separation that has genuine disgust for something that they used to find attractive or compelling, right? I keep on seeing it's not mysterious, it's messy. It's not casual, it's confusing, right? If it's not clear, it's nothing. So I just keep on seeing that this energy is very clear as to what it is that they're seeking in partnership. And there's not much variance for anything that's not that. Because this is the energy that says that exactness is moving the energy from Virgo into Aries, because it's becoming Libra energy, because it's saying it isn't about the fact that I am afraid. It's the energy that says I'm very picky. I'm very picky for good reason, because that pickiness is what protects me. While for a lot of that energy coming into divine union, I just keep on seeing that this is the energy that's feeling a lot of strength and reassurance as it relates to the amplification of their choices, right? If this was energy that felt like there was uncertainty as it relates to what they're doing, look at the balance that's happening right now within union. Right? This is the energy that is going back to the past, and they're feeling more balanced in the process. This is why that exploration feels so beneficial, because this isn't energy that's looking back in the past and going, I wish I was back there. This is the energy that's seeing the past in a new way because of the glasses that they have that have been provided to them in partnership. It's like the energy in partnership has fixed their focus. And this could even be energy looking back in the past and saying, I can see what the problem was. They were focusing on the wrong things. While for masculine and feminine, coming in deep within divine union, this is a lot of that energy. I just keep on seeing building into the context of making a lot of choices right now. I'm telling you, it's like Aries going direct feels like kickstart energy, right? And I keep on seeing this is why the energy is in Gemini, because there's a little bit of this like energy that's fueling frustration into tenacity, right? Remembering or feeling that sense of getting a focus on something and getting stronger in the process. A little bit of that is speaking towards the effort or the energy of applying, I keep on saying applying consistent force to a situation, right? It's not about pushing too hard or pushing too softly. I keep on saying there's like lessons of consistency that are coming through right now for energy deep within divine union. Center card for today's spread. Wow, this is very important. So we've got here our Lover's card. Now, if this card looks familiar, you'll recall that we had this card bottom of the deck yesterday. So this is a continuation of yesterday's reading. I feel like I keep on hearing a lot of this energy. The Aries going direct, the Mars going direct is giving a lot of energy, this feeling of no better time than the present. Like, what are you waiting on? Right? There's a lot, I want to say, it feels to me like a lot of energy finding the courage to bring things, to resolve, I keep on saying to resolve things, or to make decisions, and identifying and recognizing and feeling a stabilization point. Now, for the energy deep within divine union, a lot of this work that I'm seeing feels like, I keep on seeing a lot of energy that feels the harmonization point in recognizing and feeling what is best. This is why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now, there is this feeling of integration. It's Gemini energy, because I keep seeing that both masculine and feminine are tackling circumstances or situations, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels aligned to. They're saying to me, unilaterally is what I'm seeing. It feels very unilateral. It feels very much like the energy that feels like they're in that cohesion of agreement, right? And I like that because it keeps on, like, I keep on hearing something about the energy within divine union being in like unilateral diplomacy as it relates to what, like, how best to address circumstances or situations, right? And there's something very harmonious and beautiful about that. And a lot of that energy that is coming into divine union, I keep on seeing that something that is significant and important here has to do with the energy that is having breakthroughs in relationality to the past. But the reason they're having breakthroughs in relationality to the past is because they're seeing things with a new sense of clarity, right? I keep on hearing that energy that says something that was confusing now makes a lot of sense. Closure does not come through going back to situations. This is what we talk about when we say closure comes from going forward. The path becomes clearer the more you move towards it. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of this energy that feels the sanctity of connection, because it's not just the clarity that they're getting in the present, but the clarity that they're receiving and seeing their past through new optics. While for masculine and feminine energy that is in separation, I told you, some of this energy in separation is already in their manifestation. They just haven't met their person yet, right? A good manifestation isn't what you receive. It's who you are in the process of moving towards it. And I just keep on seeing that there's a lot of this energy right now in separation that feels a completeness within the self, right? Recognizing that I see this energy that says, I'm not looking for a partner that completes me. I'm looking for a partner that enhances me, right? This is important, right? When we talk about enhancement, because when we're operating from the place of a wound, right? When we feel like that sense of lacking, we look towards partnership like we're like thirsty for it. We're like, I need, like we're desperate, like the desperation that we feel like, oh my God, right? Like we feel like we need to be in partnership. Healthy partnership is not amplified by a feeling of needing to be within it. It's a feeling of already being whole within oneself and having that ability of sharing the joy around you, right? Having that ability of I keep on seeing this energy saying, I'm not looking for someone to complete me. I'm looking for someone to share my abundance with, right? I told you, what are you going to do with all this fish? You're going to share it, right? Like that's the thing about it. Like that's the answer to like, what are you going to do with all this fish? You share it, right? So a lot of this energy says, I don't need to find a place to put this. I need someone that shares that messiness with me. I'm looking for someone that sees that as abundance. So I see there's a lot of energy and separation on the verge of very powerful connections. There must be another planetary alignment coming because this type of energy I usually see when there's an alignment on the horizon. Fourth and fifth card in our 5-card spreads are World in its reversal, Queen of Swords in its reversal. Now this is important because these are Chiron lessons. These are Chiron lessons. We've got Chiron and we've got Venus in Aries right now. It's wounded warrior energy. It's navigating through vulnerability, which is why I keep on saying now is not a time to feel sorry for oneself, right? It's not a space of warriors don't feel sorry for themselves. Warriors don't move forward by saying, help me, help me. Warriors move forward saying, how can I help? I'm okay, right? Like wiping back tears kind of energy. There's a lot of this energy here because I got to tell you right now, and this is why some of this energy and separation is healing, because this is the energy that says, I never stop healing. I'm not waiting for the day that something stops hurting. I understand that nothing ever stops hurting. Something hurts because it is sacred. Let these wounds become the altar that I build upon, right? I keep on seeing that there's energy that's in separation, that's learning that it's not about letting go. It's not about disassociating from the pain. It's about honoring it. This is what we talk about when we talk about honoring our feelings. And when we honor our feelings, we don't obsess over them, right? We don't just sit there and feel the feelings, right? We actively listen to what the feelings are asking for. And that's why I keep on seeing that this is also feeling to me like a lot of Piscean energy or lessons that we're going through right now. Because again, Pisces, the journey of Pisces isn't just following the flow of the emotions. The true Pisces lesson is learning how to swim against the current. It's putting one's force of will beyond how one feels, right? Because often, and we talk about that, the emotions always want to guide us back to the past. That's where the emotions live. Emotions live in the past. It's like the tail of a comet, right? They're always behind us to a certain extent because the emotions can't have feelings for things that we haven't experienced yet, right? So this is the energy that says my emotions are the tail of a comet. They always feel like they're pulling me back. But why does Scorpio help us in this way? Because Scorpio looks and says, when you feel the pull of the emotions, what does Scorpio say? Has it changed? Has something changed? Is that feeling, that force that pulls you backwards, is it pulling you backwards because it feels like it left something behind? Or is it looking for something? Right? Because if this is the emotion that says I left something behind, and then you face the emotions and you say, what are you looking for? And saying, well, I was waiting for, well, you were waiting, right? And this is why I see the conversation emotion saying, are you asking for something that you found? Or is that the sound of emotions that are upset because they want to continue to wait for something to emerge that never emerged, right? Like it's giving me the tail of a comet energy, because that's the thing about it. It's like understanding the comet is not pulled by its tail. The comet always feels like the drag of the emotions from the past, feeling into Neptune, sentimentality, right? But not allowing that sentimentality to move one off course in relationality to what it is that one is moving towards. It's painful. It's heavy. It's a heavy drag. It's a drag, right? And this is how we sometimes recognize that we heal. We say to our feelings, yeah, it's a drag. It stinks. But it is what it is, right? It's, I'm not going to let my feelings get in the way of finding what it is that I'm seeking. And sometimes we have to recognize this is why we work through our feelings. And this is how we honor our feelings, right? When we recognize, we say, listen, I honor you, but I also see what you're asking for. We're going to persevere regardless, right? Get in the car. It's a lot of this like get in the car energy. Like, here comes Aries going, get in the car, the feelings. And the feelings are outside the car going, I don't want to go anywhere. Like Aries is going, get in the car. Get in the car. While for masculine and feminine, that is coming into the divine union, this is the energy looking back on something and being like, wow, that was a mess. Right? This is a lot of energy looking at a past version of self. And I just keep hearing the energy going, looking for love in all the wrong places. Right? Because when we look at our past and we found something, that's often the feeling that we have when we look back in our past. We go, there's someone looking in the wrong spot. There's someone looking in the wrong. Nope. Oh, I know it looked like that. It looks like that would be the perfect place. Nope, it's not there. It's not there, dude. But that's why we hold that into a place of, we cherish that. Right? Because I can almost hear that energy going, it's always in the last place you look. And then when you found it, it feels really silly, all the other places that you were looking for it. While for masculine and feminine energy, that is deep within divine union, a lot of this energy deep within divine union, this is why it feels so much like Gemini energy. Because I keep on seeing the energy deep within divine union, trying to craft new tools. If you don't have something that suits a circumstance or situation, you've got to innovate. You've got to be creative. And I told you, I think that some of the thing that we're seeing right now, especially with this new moon in Pisces, is get ready to see a lot of creativity that's happening. Because when we have unprecedented, innovation often comes from unprecedented circumstances or unprocessed feelings. Not having a way to do something requires a new language. So I keep on seeing that a lot of this energy moving into March is going to be like new, because the mold has been broken in some way. It's welcome to Aquarius, like welcome to Pluto and Aquarius. Continuing to get clarification between King of Swords and our Justice card. One card to clarify, please. Yeah, here's the thing about it. Like this is some struggle energy, right? And this is why, this is the thing about like the thing that often happens, and it has to do with where Gemini is right now. Old versus new is what I'm hearing. Old versus new. Because the thing about it is, and that's why I feel like there's even something about thinking in that way that feels, okay, it feels like it's Renaissance energy. All right, let's talk about Renaissance energy. So Renaissance energy is important because Renaissance energy is the blending of new into old into something new. It is finding something old and seeing it in a new way, right? This is how you blend old and new. You get into Renaissance energy. And Renaissance energy does not latch on to the past. It is focused on the past because there's something in the present that rekindles the old in a way that one hasn't appreciated it before, right? And it doesn't become it doesn't become kitsch because you're not holding on to the sentiment of something. You are extracting the valuable thing and you're removing the parts of it that are unnecessary, right? So that's why I keep on getting there's something about this energy that we're moving into in March that is Renaissance energy. And Renaissance means the re-emerging of something old, but without the confines of the past, like without beyond the I keep on getting the crust of the past, right? The thing that was necessary in the past that made it hard to see something, finding the ability to extract what is precious from it. So for a lot of this energy, deep within divine union, this is why I keep on getting that this is Aries and Gemini, because it's the old that becomes new, right? It is the reemergence of something old, but being able to see it in a new way that allows for it to feel like a rebirth energy. While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union, a lot of this energy is having a renaissance in relationality to how they're viewing their past. They're not letting go of their past. They're having a renaissance because they're looking back at the past and going like, oh, I see I see it now. I see the beauty in something that used to be confusing. Right? Doesn't look confusing from here. Makes a lot more sense. That's a renaissance. While for masculine and feminine energy coming into in separation, this is energy that feels like they're moving into their renaissance. Right? This is the energy that says, I'm reemerging. Here I come. Like this is the energy that goes, I am ready to reemerge. I am ready to renew. I'm not letting go of the past. I'm taking it with me as I go. I'm taking the parts of it that are valuable and important and I'm shedding the rest. So this is all Renaissance energy we're moving into right now. Continuing to get clarification between Justice card and our Lovers card. One card to clarify, please. I like it. Clarification coming through right now with King of Cups and its reversal, right? And that's the thing about it is when we're coming into a renaissance, you know, when you're too nostalgic, then you're doing it wrong. Right? Like that's the thing about it. Like when it feels very much, I have to point this out, for a lot of the energy, like this is, it's confusing. Renaissance always confuses Neptune, is what I'm getting. Right? Renaissance always confuses Neptune energy. Because, like, Neptune energy is very nostalgic. Right? Neptune energy is very nostalgic for the past. It doesn't want to change the past. It wants to hold on to the fact that something, because it's pervasive, Neptune energy always wants to sink. It always wants to it doesn't want to emerge. So there's something about the energy right now that is a little bit, it's really difficult because the Neptune energy it's like trying to hold something down that does not want to stay down. It's like when have you ever tried to push a ball? You ever tried to push a ball into the water? Like you can't, bloop, it pops back up again, right? So it feels a lot like that to a certain extent, right? And the thing about it, and this is what I'm seeing, is this is how the energy in separation is feeling about their feelings. They're looking about the energy in separation is looking at their feelings and saying like, guys, you can't stay here. This isn't healthy, right? Like the emotions are like memories, and the energy that's, I told you, tail of the comet. It feels like, it's like the energy, it doesn't feel sentimental. It feels like the sentiment is a drag, right? It's like, this is the energy that goes, it's hard. And so I just keep on seeing that this is the energy that, like, in separation isn't trying to cut that, right? They're not trying to clear of it. they're finding the strength to move forward through it, right? This is energy in separation saying the only thing that's preventing me from finding counterpart is pulling against the drag of my own sentimentality, right? It's a heavy robe. I keep on seeing the energy go, I'm carrying a heavy robe, right? It's like when you're moving forward, it's like, oh, like, so there's a lot of that type of energy here, right? Welcome to Aries, because Aries is like, ugh, I just need to put this down for a minute. So for a lot of this energy, getting out of, like, moving towards partnership feels like a release from sentimentality. It gets your mind off of something, right? And so I just keep on seeing that there's a little bit of that energy here, which is feeling the drag of sentimentality, even as they're merging into what they know is for them. While for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union right now, this is a lot of that energy that is, working in the context of looking back at the past and wishing, like, when we look back at our past, we are sentimental for it. But it's giving me scar energy, right? Like, it's interesting because I see a lot of energy that's deep within divine union that's grown sentimental over their scars. But that is almost the sign of the fact that, I can hear that energy saying, I always carry this with me. It doesn't hurt anymore. But I have the memory of the moment that it occurred when it was all I could feel. Some heavy stuff. That's some powerful stuff, right? I carry this with me because it's the memory of the fact that there was a time that it was everything. That's a big Neptune message. I hear that energy going, I dig my scars for that reason. Like, I hear that, like, that's the energy that says, no, that scar is something sacred to me. While for masculine and feminine, that is deep within divine union, I keep on hearing a lot of this energy deep within divine union. I keep on seeing this has more to do with energy deep within divine union, getting frustrated at others who feel like they know them, but they don't know them. I keep on hearing, like, it's time for a reintroduction, because, and we often experience this when we have others that we work with, like when we engage in energy with others, when someone becomes sentimental about us, it sometimes feels like they've lost focus on who we are, because we're always emerging, we're always changing. And so I just keep on seeing there's something about the energy deep within divine union that is amplifying and recognizing how much they've changed, almost specifically in the context. I can almost hear this energy say, they think I'm the same, right? Like, there's almost like a point in comparison that's occurring right now between the changes that have emerged between, like, in partnership versus someone being sentimental for past versions of self in the process. It's very interesting. We're going to have to explore that more. Continuing to get clarification between the Lovers card in combination with the World card in its reversal. Yeah, especially with this King of Wands in its reversal. This has a lot to do. Especially for the energy deep within divine union, in terms of innovation. And I keep on hearing energy deep within divine union, trying to find new words, trying to heal something, but trying to heal something by thinking about it in a new way. Like, this is the frustration point. This is where all this Uranus and Taurus energy is bothering the energy deep within divine union, because I keep on seeing this energy say it's hard to put into words how I'm feeling. Language is escaping me, right? But that's why I keep on hearing like it's a fact like that energy is on the in the process of having a renaissance, because they're saying to themselves, we need a new language. Nothing that we find is working. We need something new to be able to describe something. While for the energy that's coming into divine union, this is the energy that's just looking back at the past version of self. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this reading that I'm seeing here. You know, it feels to me that there's almost something that's very powerful that's occurring right now for the energy coming into divine union, that has gone through such a massive shift simply into coming into partnership, that they almost recognize the fact that to others around them they may be unrecognizable. You know, there's something really valuable and important about that, because this is the energy that almost like, I want to say, it's having an impact on the connections surrounding them, because something about navigating the changes that one experiences, and this is what happens sometimes when we come into divine union, we end up losing connection to others that see the changes that it elicits in us, and we become unrecognizable within it. Right? We sometimes move into separation with other energy in this process, because something that we welcome, if something that we welcome that's changed within us, another person does not see, it's not a welcoming sight, it can feel very devastating, right? Because it is the fact that like healthy relationships are ones that we constantly welcome the change that we recognize in one another. But sometimes if someone is waxing too nostalgic, this is often what can create energetic rifts, right? And I keep on seeing that like there may be some of those rifts that are occurring as it relates to how one perceives something and another person welcoming those changes in. While for energy and separation, welcome to the Venus in retrograde. I keep on hearing a lot of this energy and separation going, I'm sick of feeling this way. That's healing too. Right? I'm sick of feeling this way is absolutely healing, because often, and this is how some of that Uranus and Taurus is helping the energy and separation. Sometimes the way we heal is when we get sick of feeling a certain way. Like I see a lot of this energy going, I'm sick of dwelling in sentimentality. I'm sick of thinking about this, right? That's a little bit of that energetic kickstart that Aries is giving that says like, hey, let's get out of here, right? Like the energy going, let's get our mind off of it, right? We heal by allowing ourselves the ability to feel more. And so I keep on seeing this energy going, it's either I find my person or I get out of my funk, right? Because this is the energy that says like, I'm in a funk if I'm overthinking something and I don't like thinking about it. Continuing to get clarification between the World card in its reversal and the Queen of Swords in its reversal. All right. We've got here our Ace of Wands in its reversal. I got to do it. Like there's a lot of this activation energy. I see a lot of energy feeling like there's like, I'm telling you right now, there's like a sweet spot. There's like this little sweet spot of a few days when we come out of the Aries retrograde before all this like nonsense starts with the Venus in retrograde. A lot of activation within it. Right? And a lot of that's like, I'm going to do it while I have the confidence. Like, yeah, well, welcome to... Like there's this little patch of time where we're not going to have any retrogrades, and there's a lot of movement forward. So being able, like I see, like I keep on getting, like there's a little bit of this kickstart energy, because this is the energy raring to go. Continuing to get clarification between our Page of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our King of Cups in its reversal. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through with the 6 of Swords. It's in its upright, which I like to see, right? Sometimes we heal things when we get sick of feeling certain ways. I told you, right? You think awakening isn't like, you know, like this light in the heaven that goes, go this way. No, it's awakening is not typically when you start doing something new. It's when you stop doing something, right? When you get out of your own way. And I keep on hearing a lot of this energy that's in separation going, I'm sick and tired of feeling this way, right? I'm going to do something about it. I see this energy going, I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to sit here. It's not doing me any good. I keep on hearing this energy going, it's not doing me any good wallowing in a feeling. Wallowing in a feeling isn't how you heal it. Feeling other things is how you heal it. So I see this energy saying, and the only thing about I feel like the difficulty that we experience, especially, I told you, the indulgence point right now, coming out of this Leo full moon, it feels really good to feel sorry for yourself. It feels really good. We have to accept it. Wallowing feels good, right? Languishing. Woe is me, It's cozy, but it's not productive. So I feel like I can almost see that energy in separation going, I'm going to give myself a limit to this woe is me, right? Like, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes. I'm going to give myself an hour. I'm going to give myself a few days. Because the difference between, I keep on getting the difference between wallowing and languishing is whether you're always in that space or whether you're giving yourself some time, right? Like, it's the difference. It's the difference between feeling like that indefinitely or indulge. Like, I keep on seeing the energy that says, I'm going to indulge and I'm going to indulge and wallow, for this amount of time. Like I was saying, someone saying, there's a limitation on how much time I'll allow myself to feel like this. That's healing, right? Because again, we also talk about the fact that that's meditation. Yeah, that's meditation. Anytime you put intention to how long you're going to feel like something, that's meditation, right? I'm going to let myself feel sad for 5 minutes. I'm going to let myself, sentimentalize for 20. That's also meditation, right? Because meditation is intended emotional direction, right? I'm going to give myself this amount of time and then I'm going to move on. It becomes a meditation practice. So I keep on seeing that some of this energy is they're practicing meditation without recognizing it because they're saying to themselves, I'm only going to give myself this amount of time to feel this way. That's meditation. While for masculine and feminine coming into divine union, for a lot of that energy coming into divine union, this is the energy that is looking back on something that used to be too painful to look back on because this is the first time they can see it clearly, right? The beauty of a good journey is being able to recognize things from the past that you could not see at the time that you were experiencing them, right? And so I just keep on seeing a little bit of that energy is actually building nostalgia for something. That is a part of the healing process because this is the energy that says, I don't want to go back to it, but I understand it now, so I can actually look at it with a bit of sentimentality. While for masculine and feminine energy that is deep within divine union right now, I keep on hearing this energy go, I'm not going to let a little thing like my feelings get in the way of me getting something done. I keep on hearing this energy going, I'm not going to let a little thing like my feelings get in the way of getting something done. This is the energy that can recognize the difference between sentimentality and activation. And again, it feels like a drag, right? But often when we're in a space that we have purpose, we're like, it's not about how I feel. It's not about me. It's not about how I feel. Who cares? Get in the car. We got things to do. Continuing to get clarification between our King of Cups and its reversal in combination with our King of Wands and its reversal. You remember yesterday? I need to point this out. We had big energy coming through for feminine yesterday. You'll recall we had the High Priestess, we had the Empress out, we had the Queen of Wands in its reversal. So a lot of contemplation for feminine yesterday. Masculine, again, following in suit. We're having a lot of masculine energy cards today, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. Clarification I love it, the Ace of Pentacles. practicality. I keep on seeing a lot of this like for energy of force trying to get things done. I like this because this is saying to me that some of this Mars coming into Mars coming back direct is getting energy motivated again. There's something about motivation arriving, right? And that's nice because it feels like it's getting a little bit easier to get motivated again. Now the thing about it is the Leo full moon cycle, you might there might be a lot of energy recovering from that Leo full moon cycle, because I told you again, the thing about the Leo full moons is sometimes they bring us to our knees, either physically, emotionally, or spiritually, because there's something really important and significant to recognize as it relates to the weight of what you're energetically carrying, right? And that's why I said even now, there may have been something that came during that Leo full moon, and I'm going to speak directly to some of the energy and separation that feels like it was very clarifying, right? Because there's almost this observational moment of looking at something from the past and being able to identify and recognize how much something has changed, right? Or the frustration in understanding how much something has remained the same, right? And depending upon how we feel, right, that identification point, that frustration, the honoring, I told you, honoring the emotions, honoring, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say the same thing. Honoring the emotions does not mean you say, well, I was just telling you how I feel. That's not honoring emotions. Honoring emotions isn't unloading your emotions on another person and then saying, I was honoring my emotions in that moment. No, you weren't. You're trying to divest yourself of your emotions, right? It's like they keep on saying, a lot of lessons in recognizing the distortion of emotions, right? And sometimes when someone's not in a healed place, they'll try to say that they were doing something healing by divesting themselves of the emotions instead of recognizing and articulating by actively listening to the emotions to recognize and identify what they were asking for, right? There's a big difference there. And so I keep on hearing energy coming out of this new moon, this full moon in Leo, that says, not going to distort things, right? Because sometimes the emotions want to distort things. And so I feel like that's why I keep on recognizing that energy during the full moon in Leo could have allowed for a massive amount of healing, because it's the experience of listening to the emotions, to hear what they're asking for, to then build the manifestations towards what that direction is. But if you are reacting to the emotions that may have come up during that full moon in Leo, it may have felt like you took a step backwards, right? Because that ability of just being reactive to the emotions and feeling how good it feels to like get something off of your chest, sometimes it doesn't move us in the direction that we intended to, right? We have to be introspective before we get something off of our chest, right? Because that's the difference between saying like, I'm honoring how I feel versus I don't want to feel this. And that's happening across all of the frequencies. And that's why I even see that for some of the energy deep within divine union, there could be conversations. I keep on hearing energy deep within divine union saying, I wish I could talk to this person about this, right? There are some conversations we can't have with others because when we're too reactive to things, we create a barricade in communication, right? And so I keep on seeing that there's something about that force within divine union that feels like energy is circumnavigating conversations they wish they could have with someone by articulating upon what those limitations and blockers are, right? While for masculine and feminine coming into divine union, this is the energy saying, I see this energy feeling like that about the past version of self. I keep on seeing energy looking back at a past version of self and saying, I wasn't ready to see something with clarity. I wasn't I wasn't ready to accept that. Often we see those obstacles after we move forward because we can immediately, like awakening is often recognizing how we were standing in our own way. So I keep on seeing a lot of that energy, holding a lot of love for a past version of self while also having a lot of notes for the self, right? Identification of signs of a good journey. While for masculine and feminine in separation, I just keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy in separation right now, this is the energy that is recognizing and honoring, finding a way to honor how they feel while still moving forward, right? I just keep on seeing this energy say, this is how I hold it. This is how I carry it forward with me. It never leaves me, but this is how I carry it, right? It's the desire to want to feel other things on top of the pain that you're carrying, right? Like it's learning to live through it, right? There's a lot of that energy, and I feel like that's the gift of some of this Mars, like the gift of some of this Mars retrograde is finding the strength to persevere, finding the way to carry something that it doesn't feel like it's too much. It feels like you've become stronger in the process. Continuing to get clarification between our King of Wands and its reversal in combination with our Ace of Wands and its reversal. One card to clarify. I like this, the King of Wands. This is giving me a lot of energy and relationality to new ways of communicating. Like here comes I keep on getting here comes Aries to the rescue to a certain extent. Because a lot of this force that I feel like a lot of the energy and separation is experiencing is finding a way to take frustration and move it into something that feels productive, right? The force of change. I got to tell you, sometimes we change when we're frustrated, right? When we're content, we kind of we're very happy to kind of stay in the same space, but when we're frustrated, like we understand, and I keep on seeing that for a lot of energy in separation, recognizing whether you're holding on to something because it was perfect or holding on to something because it frustrated you is what's empowering the energy to move forward. And that's why I keep on hearing that this energy says, am I holding on to something because it was the ideal? Or am I holding on to something because it was never ideal? Because answering that question is giving someone the directions they need as to what direction they're moving towards, right? Like that is the amplification of either saying like this was energetically ideal and this is what I'm striving for and this is what I'm building towards because that was the thing that I know that was perfect, right? Or if this is the energy that looks at something and says, I'm holding on to it because it was never perfect. I'm holding on to something because it was lacking. I'm holding on to something because I wanted it to change into something it was not. This is why the Scorpio is helping the energy and separations going, well, if that was never ideal, come with me. Let me show you where that ideal lives, right? Maybe that isn't the place for it. Continuing to get clarification between our Six of Swords in combination with our Ace of Pentacles in its upright, right? One card to clarify. Clarification coming through right now with our Six of Pentacles in its upright. So what's beautiful about this, and I keep on seeing this, like, I know, like, next month, like, we're seeing even now, like, a lot of these shifts that are happening, it feels productive. It feels like coming into the space of solution. But a lot of it, and this is why I'm saying, like, making sure that you're feeling secure in the self in the process of moving towards this new moon in Pisces. You have to let go of that feeling of perfect. You have to let go of that feeling of perfect, right? Because when we talked a lot about this, Mars, the work of the Mars retrograde is understanding the value and significance of what surrender means. Surrender does not mean letting go. I mean, doesn't mean giving up. Surrender means letting go. Surrender means when we insist upon things, right? When we are not ever able to change, it can feel very much, we can feel very weak in that moment. But when we come into that space of surrendering, right? When we say to the universe, like, look, this is what's within my own ability to control, and this is what I'm facing, like, we feel like we're collaborating with the universe because we're not trying to control everything. We're doing what is in our power to control, and we're leaving it up to the universe to help us navigate the rest, right? And so, you know, that sense or space is one that, like, it can sometimes feel exhaustive in that moment, but it also feels reaffirming because it's in that moment that we allow ourselves to see that a possibility potentially presents itself to us that we haven't considered before, right? Like, it almost says to me, you know, you find an open door not by trying to force a door, but by looking around, like looking beyond, like, you know, what you're staring at and seeing the possibility surrounding you. So I kind of see that there's a lot of that here because a lot of this energy that's in separation, I keep on seeing the higher self say this person's already in their manifestation. They just haven't met the counterpart yet. They're embodying the qualities and characteristics that they're hoping to find in another. They're moving in accordance with it. But it feels to them like, you know, finding the courage to move forward in this moment feels like a grand act of surrender. While for masculine and feminine coming into divine union, this is the energy that is looking back at the past version of self and saying, there's someone that I love that didn't want to let go of something. Right? Like, that's why that energy looks at that past version of self with so much love, because that's the energy that says, look at them go. Look how much they fought for me. Right? Like, that's the energy that says, I love that past person, even if they weren't perfect, because they were fighting for me. They were fighting for me tooth and nail. They were trying to find what I have found. Right? This is how we love that past version of self, because we look back and say, that is my champion. That is my champion right there. Look at them go, right? High five to them. If it weren't for them going through that, I would not find myself where I am now, right? We love that person. We don't feel ashamed for them. We hold them in our highest, like in our highest place of esteem. And I feel like that's a lot, and I keep on seeing that a lot of this energy is working in that space of saying, even to the counterpart that they've moved towards, I would never ask for those things to occur. But if everything occurred that brought me here, I didn't expect to be here, but I'm glad to have found myself here, right? While for masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union, a lot of that energy working deep within divine union is looking towards solutions. I keep on seeing that energy being solution oriented, looking in the ways of helping, right? What do you do with all that fish? You share it. You give it forth, right? Like, that's the energy that goes. That's why I keep on seeing the energy. It goes, like, especially with all this extra Pisces energy. What do I do with all this? I find new ways to share it. Continuing to get clarification between our Ace of Pentacles in combination with our Knight of Wands and its upright. One card to clarify. Clarification coming through right now with Temperance. I know everybody, the thing is with this Uranus and Taurus, everybody's patience is at the limit. A little bit further, right? When we feel like we've had enough, we push a little bit more, because sometimes, right? Sometimes when we give it a little bit extra, like, that's all, like, all it took was that. And I got to tell you right now, this has a lot to do with the fact that Jupiter went direct, right? Because I keep on seeing the way that you find consistency is patience, commitment, breakthrough. Patience, commitment, breakthrough, right? And when we care about something, we put patience and commitment towards it, we find those breakthroughs. Being patient with yourself in the process, giving yourself that time. Finding that, I keep on getting, finding that extra reserve of strength within the self. That's been a lot of the work that we've been navigating through this journey of Mars in retrograde. I didn't know I had it in me. We never do. And that's how we find it. Final card for today's spread, between our Six of Pentacles in combination with our Temperance card in its upright. One card to clarify. Eight of Swords in its reversal. You know, I keep on seeing that there's something really beautiful that's coming through across all the frequencies as it relates to, I keep on hearing the hidden reserve of strength. Right? When we go through those moments, like when we feel like we're operating on fumes, it's sometimes in those moments that we find ourselves. It's sometimes in those moments that we suddenly, we have those, like, I keep on seeing like those moments of clarity that often come through, that it feels like a cloud break, right? It feels like that moment that we can see something with clarity. And I keep on seeing that a lot of this energy right now, hovering on the cusp of a breakthrough, right? And I know it sounds cliche, but the reason we talk about the fact that we say sometimes it's always darkest before the dawn, is because, you know, when we're navigating something, you know, we don't know what's on the other side of it, right? It's in that moment, like when we find the tenacity or strength to go forward, right? We do it. And this is a bit of the gift of that Leo full moon, right? We don't do it for ourselves. We do it for the sake of love. We do it for the sake of compassion. The compassion that we find within ourselves, that strength to endure, that strength to go on. It's ever invasive. It's like, it is the core of our being, right? It is where love lives, right? Because it's when we say, for you, I'll do anything. It means, like, for the love that we have, we find the energetic power, right? It is that pervasive space that allows us that ability to energetically endure. So if you're feeling like that right now, if you're feeling like a lot of this heaviness, I want you to be fortified within it. I want you to find that energetic hidden reserve within yourself. Because, you know, and I like to point this out, you know, if anything can happen, then anything can happen, right? When someone tries to put the brakes on something, what they've really done is you can take the brakes off, right? So there's something about this that is almost allowing for this breakthrough. But it is almost like it's coming through in that point of, like, we talk about this. Sometimes we have a breakthrough at the moment everything breaks down, because in the moment something breaks down, it frees us to be our most authentic self in the process, right? And that's what we talk about with surrender. That's what we talk about with healthy surrender, right? That's not the surrender that feels like it's reckless. It's the feeling of surrender that says, what do I have to lose? Right? Surrender is not about giving up. The word surrender means, what do I have to lose? And I keep on seeing that for a lot of this energy, if you're feeling that moment of heaviness, if you're feeling the weight of the sentimentality and you feel stuck in it, surrender comes in the moment that you say, what do I have to lose in moving forward? Am I going to feel more of the stuckness? Possibly, but the opportunity to feel something better is right on the horizon. Right? And I can see this energy, almost hearing the higher self going, what do you have to lose? If you're already feeling low, what is the risk in trying again? Right? Not allowing oneself to become cynical, but remembering that hope springs eternal. While for masculine and feminine energy, right, coming into divine union, this is why I keep on seeing that this energy is having those moments of remembering when the scar was everything. This is the energy waxing sentimental and feeling like that. This is the energy looking at a scar within them and saying, I thought that was it. I thought I was never going to not feel that way. Look at me now. I thought that that was eternal. I just needed to keep trying. That was not the end of the story, but at that moment I thought it was. That was just the beginning, right? And often we only find those moments when we arrive to where we're supposed to be, and suddenly we have those moments and we look back and we want to cry because we look back and we see something and say, I thought that was the end of the story. It was just the beginning. While for masculine and feminine, deep within divine union, I keep on seeing this energy that says to one another, for you, anything is possible. Because that is the power of love, right? The power of love is one that we're continually shedding our skin, because it's not a place that we have to stay stagnant. It's an energy or a force that we say to one another, I'm always in the process of becoming, and with you I find the courage to become, and I love you and you love me because I love to watch you unfold. I love to watch you open. Like we talk about the jewel and the lotus. Love is not loving the flower. Love is loving, watching the process of another's becoming. Right? And that's why I keep on hearing this energy in Gemini saying, yours is a story I would watch over and over again, because no matter where it goes, I love to watch the process of you becoming. Bottom of the deck on this reading, 10 of Pentacles in its reversal. Less than ideal circumstances or situations. Less than ideal. But to this I will say, when has anything ever been energetically ideal? When has anything ever been energetically ideal? I hate to say this. Everybody always feels like they're living in the worst moment. Everybody always feels that we're living in the worst moment. Our worst is not exceptional. It is the energetic standard. And when we recognize that, potentially everyone is always living in their worst moment at that moment, we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We hold compassion for each other, because then we say to each other, we are all doing the best that we can under less than ideal circumstances. We don't owe it to each other. We owe it to ourselves to arrive and to be each other's salvation by being the best version of ourselves that we can each and every day. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do so on my website. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website. So I encourage you to do it there. Also, a couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our class on the Wheel of Fortune this week. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, March 19th. At 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Justice card. If you would like to become part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is become a paid subscriber to my Substack. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library. You will also have access to one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we're currently studying or have studied thus far. Also, if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive full access to the entire Tarot Church Library archive, you will also have access to You also get a discounted rate on the full year's worth of classes, and you will also be available to receive a one-on-one mentorship class with me, wherein I will assess where you are on your personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes and your personal practice to the best of your advantage towards your tarot goals moving forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or robust experience stop you from joining us on that journey. Also, even if you don't, and if you are a subscriber over on my clock app, or if you are a member on the place where we keep the videos, make sure that you head over to our subscriber only Discord channel, because there you will find a special coupon code that will give you an additional discount to that Substack subscription. Even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings and services. I post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's spiritual development goals and personal path work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I also want to let you guys know that I'm now offering dream interpretation reading packages as well. You can purchase those readings per dream, or if you purchase the package, I simply ask that you start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly to review that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key messages and lessons coming through the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again